My brothers and sisters in the Lord, I always think we should move our biography 9 months. Mis hermanos y hermanas en el Señor, yo siempre pienso que debiéramos mover nuestra biografía 9 meses. Of course, we know what happens 9 months before we're actually born is our conception. And the conception is the first moment of human life. Lo que pasa 9 meses antes de nuestro nacimiento es nuestra concepción. Y la concepción es el primer momento de la vida humana. So in a way we could say that as we celebrate the Immaculate Conception of the Virgin Mary, we're celebrating her birthday. De cierta manera estamos celebrando el cumpleaños de la Virgen María, porque es su Inmaculada Concepción. That is a good reminder, because a lot of times when we think of conception, we're thinking of the conception of Jesus. Cuando oímos la concepción, típicamente pensamos en la concepción de Jesús. But when we say the Immaculate Conception, we're talking about the conception of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Cuando decimos la Inmaculada Concepción, estamos hablando de la concepción de la Virgen María. That means 9 months before Mary was born, when she was conceived in her mother's womb, she was conceived immaculate, without original sin. Lo que queremos decir es que 9 meses antes del nacimiento de María fue concebida en el vientre de su mamá inmaculada, sin pecado. So that's what we celebrate today. It is a solemnity, and the reading of the gospel is the Annunciation, but today it's not the Annunciation. La lectura del Evangelio fue la Anunciación, pero hoy no es la fiesta de la Anunciación. But there is the tip there as well from the church, because in every solemnity or every big celebration of the Blessed Mother, that's the passage we use. It denotes that we give the highest ranking to what we're celebrating today. Leímos en el Evangelio la Anunciación del Ángel María, y hoy no es la fiesta de la Anunciación, pero nos deja saber que es una fiesta muy especial, porque la Iglesia, cuando hay una solemnidad bien importante de la Virgen María, esa es la lectura del Evangelio que se usa. O sea que indirectamente, al usar ese Evangelio, la Iglesia nos está diciendo que esta solemnidad de hoy es de las más altas que estamos celebrando para nuestra Madre Celestial. And we should rejoice. Debemos alegrarnos porque we celebrate with our mother, with our heavenly mother. Celebramos con nuestra Madre Celestial. If you have been to Nicaragua, that is a great example of the incredible love that a whole country has to the Blessed Mother. Los que han estado, vivido, que vienen de Nicaragua, los que han visitado, algunos de aquí, que no somos nicaragüenses, hemos visitado Nicaragua y sabemos el increíble amor que el pueblo nicaragüense le tiene a la Santísima Madre. Como hoy lo celebran de una manera súper especial. So I was thinking to myself, how can we honor her? What can we do? Because as I've been telling you recently, there is only one Immaculate Conception. Solamente hay una Inmaculada Concepción. We all were born with what is called original sin. Todos nacimos con el pecado original. That's what Mary was not born with. She didn't have original sin. María no tenía el pecado original. What do we mean by original sin? Original sin is the sin that we inherited from our first parents, from Adam and Eve. El pecado original es el pecado que nosotros recibimos por parte de nuestros primeros padres, Adán y Eva. Why was that sin so significant? ¿Por qué ese pecado fue tan significativo? Because it was different from any sin that we can commit. Original sin is not a personal sin. El pecado original no es un pecado personal. When I give baptism seminars and you have to explain to a couple that is bringing a baby to be baptized what original sin is, the first thing I have to tell them is that their baby has no personal sin. That baby hasn't sinned personally, but they have the inclination to sin, the deviation to sin, the propensity to sin. And that was because we lost the possibility that Adam and Eve had of being with God all the time. Nosotros perdimos la posibilidad que tenían Adán y Eva de estar con Dios todo el tiempo. The book of Genesis describes that Adam and Eve used to walk with God in the garden. In the breeze of the evening, they could walk with God. So they were knowledgeable about God. Adán y Eva caminaban con Dios en el jardín, en el fresquito de la tarde, y conocían a Dios. Sabían lo que Dios quería. Veían a Dios. And still, they did what God didn't want them to do. And that's why it's such a significant sin, because it is unique in a way. There's no comparison, because unfortunately, we do not see God, not like they did. So we see Him in different ways. But we inherited, heredamos, that tendency, esa tendencia al pecado. So what can we do to honor the Immaculate Conception, since we are not the Immaculate Conception? We were not born immaculately, even though a lot of people today think like that. They think they have never sinned and they are immaculate. At least confession lines tells us that. Nobody goes to confession, so we must be very good because we don't do anything bad. I guess that's something we have to wrestle with. Nadie va a la confesión hoy en día, así que debe ser que todos somos demasiado buenos y no necesitamos confesarlo. What can we do? You know, I came up with two things that I think are part of our Catholic Christian tradition that we have lost. And the first one may surprise you a little bit. Yo pienso que hay dos cosas que hemos perdido de nuestra tradición católica, y la primera que voy a mencionar quizás les sorprende un poquito. The first one is to go on a retreat. Poder ir a un retiro. It used to be that Catholic Christians, and actually Christians, would go to an annual retreat. How many of us go to an annual retreat or take time every year to kind of set aside a few days where we spend time with God? ¿Cuántos de nosotros sacamos algún tiempo del año para ir a un retiro y estar con Dios? I don't know about you, but my experiences in retreat have been great. You know, the one that I was thinking especially today as I did my prayer was my priesthood retreat. Cuando yo hice mi retiro para ordenación de sacerdote, I don't know, Nico Jesse, when you were ordained, did you have a retreat right before? Yes. So we always do a retreat before. You know, and that retreat before ordination is one of the most wonderful retreats you can ever make. You feel like an angel. You feel so good, you're getting ready to be ordained. And actually, when you're ordained, I remember the day I was ordained, the next day, I had to hear confessions at 5:30 in the morning. Tenía que oír el día después de mi ordenación, acabadito de salir del retiro y de la ordenación, tenía que oír confesiones a las 5:30 de la mañana. But I felt so good, I felt so holy, I didn't complain, it didn't matter. I would have woken up at 4 in the morning. I was ready, I was excited, I was full of energy. I had not sinned. You know, that's a struggle for a priest. After ordination, the first time you commit a sin, that's horrible. Because you just want to stay in that cloud that you're so good. And you know, when you come out of a retreat, people can insult you. And you would say, God bless you. You feel good. You're strong. Cuando uno sale de un retiro, alguien le puede insultar y uno le dice que Dios te bendiga, porque uno está en otro mundo, está lleno del gozo del Señor, está feliz, no tengo que insultar a nadie, no tengo que decir nada malo. And that's why I'm thinking, we're not the Immaculate Conception, but maybe the experience of a retreat helps us to approximate a little bit that experience. You know, I think while we are on retreat, it's really very difficult to sin. You could, I mean, there can be occasions of sin even in a retreat, but typically, you're in some other world. You feel good. want to be with God. You're praying. You're with other people. You're doing something good. So in that way, we get closer to her because we are experiencing something that helps me not to sin. And of course, the second thing is what I've been preaching recently about, and it's just taking advantage of the sacrament of penance, taking advantage of confession, tener la oportunidad de ir a la confesión, de confesar. Cuando me limpio de mis pecados y salgo del confesionario, me asemejo un poquito más a Él. No soy la Inmaculada Concepción, pero me acerco un poquito más a estar libre de pecado. ¿Y quién puede estar seguro que no tiene pecado? Nadie. Podemos confesar hasta quizás hoy mismo pensé mal de alguien, dije una mala palabra, no traté bien a mi cónyuge, pensé que estaba cansado y no quería ir a la iglesia, estoy pensando aquí y todavía estoy mirando a gente y las estoy criticando en mi mente. Hay mucho que podemos confesar y nos limpiamos de todo eso para asemejarnos a alguien que nunca pecó, que nunca tuvo pecado, que no nació con pecado, que vivía con el Hijo de Dios. How can you see? I mean, you're with the Son of God, taking care of Him, kissing Him, holding Him. And that's what Mary challenges us to do. So, as we leave today, two possible commitments. Make 2022 a year that you make a retreat. You know, as a priest, we have it made because we have to make a retreat. Actually, the Archbishop writes us and said, where did you do your retreat this year? So we are to be accountable for our retreats. That's a blessing. That's a grace. You don't, but you can make it. You can make it happen. It doesn't have to be long necessarily. It could even be a weekend. Just take a weekend and do it. And spend some quality time. There are plenty of retreat houses. And like I said, before December 25th, which is getting closer and closer. Saturday was 3 weeks. Now, today is Tuesday, so time is running. The list is there. Put on your list, I'm going to go to confession before December 25th. I guarantee you, Christmas is going to be better. Ir a un retiro, hagan que el 2022 vayan a un retiro, aunque sea un fin de semana, que sea 3 días, no importa. Un tiempo para estar con Dios. Hay casas de retiro en la arquidiócesis y ya se está acercando más y más la Navidad. El sábado que digan 3 semanas, ya estamos a martes, seguimos avanzando, se está cortando el tiempo. La lista, ya la vieron, pongan en la lista, antes del 25 de diciembre, este año me voy a confesar. Y les aseguro que la Navidad va a ser diferente para ustedes. Y le pedimos a la Madre que nos ayude, que nos lleve de la mano, que esté con nosotros en el confesionario, que nos ayude a confesar bien, que nos ayude a estar cerca de ella. Y eso pues nos va a ayudar a sentirnos más cerca de Dios y sentirnos más cerca de nuestros hermanos, de no maltratar a nadie, de no juzgar a nadie, de no pensar mal de nadie. Qué bonito sería vivir así y poder, si queremos. May Mary help us to accomplish those goals, and may she help us to get every day closer to Christ so that we don't hurt other people, we don't think bad of other people, we don't insult other people, we treat others like we want them to treat us, and that in doing that, we may imitate the one who is sinless from the very first moment of her life. Happy birthday, Mary. Amen.